Jaret Ray Reddick. You just add the Ray. And
Add
honestly,
the Ray.
that's my actual name. I'm no Thomas Ian Nicholas.
Wow. You're not just picking names out of the sky. I
can't wait till he sees this.
It is actually his second appearance on Talkulture. Let's welcome the wonderful Jaret Reddick, everybody.
Hey!
How's it going?
I have to thank you, I guess, there, Milo. My sound guy of over 20 years is a Full Sail graduate. So I'm certain that you probably weren't teaching there 20 years ago, but it's cool that you're keeping the youth of today educated in all things sound and music and technology and all that stuff.
Absolutely. That's awesome to hear. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, Full Sail guy.
Shout out to Full Sail.
Yeah. Shout out to Edo. Yeah.
Ego?
Edo. E-D-O.
Shout out to Edo. That's amazing. Yay. Well, welcome back. First things first, I want to jump right into things, Jaret. So if you had to describe Gwyneth Paltrow's candle in one word, what would it be?
Okay, so my TikTok today, right?
Yes.
And that one's it's doing pretty good today too. So I in one word. All right, hold on. It's musky.
Really?
Yeah. Like I haven't done my follow-up video. But those of you who don't know, this is what the candle is called.
Yes.
And the way that I read it is like she must have just smelled it.
Mm-hmm.
And like it just smelled really good, and maybe she was like, "Oh my god, that smell!" You know what I mean? Like,
good for her.
I don't really know that, but the thing is hold on, let me smell it one more time.
Okay, take it in.
I mean, I sort of get it. You know what I mean? It's sort of like, again, it's musky.
Musky.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Have you burned the candle yet, or has it just been?
No, I tell you what happened was with this candle. It's actually really funny. My brother is 5 years older than me, and when this thing first came out, I've had this thing for a long time, but when it first dropped, he goes, "Man, did you see?" You know, my brother talks like he's still from he's from Texas, but he still has his accent. So he goes, "Hey boy, you see that Gwyneth Paltrow candle she got? Smells like my vagina. Well, you need to do some of your super famous superpowers or something to get me one of those. Those things are $75. I'm not spending $75 on no candle, right?" So I was just like, what a great Christmas present to get him.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so I just went ahead and just ordered two, and then I guess they became like really hard to get.
Okay.
But anyway, I've never burned it, but I did give him his, and he was very, very excited. But I think if I did, it would smell really good. I mean, it smells good.
Oh, good. Well, shout out to Gwyneth Paltrow and Goop.
Your Gwyneth Paltrow and your lady parts. I mean, if that's what it smells like, congratulations.
Musky, apparently.
Yeah,
Okay,
which is the good kind of musky,
Great. Oh, lovely.
A good kind.
Yeah, of course.
Now, Jaret, I'm super happy to finally be meeting you, even if it's virtually, as we were supposed to hang out at DizCon this past year, but unfortunately, hurricane came through, so we weren't able to hang out with the rest of the cast from Phineas and Ferb.
No.
But speaking of Phineas and Ferb, breaking news this past week, just a couple days ago, it was announced 40 more episodes on Disney Plus. First off, that's got to make you feel awesome that you were a part of that. And secondly, I was able to hang out with Vincent and David this past weekend at another show. And to end the show, to end the panel, their Q&A panel, we actually sang the theme song from Phineas and Ferb.
Right.
So I have to ask you this. It's a lot of people's favorite theme song of all time.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite television theme song?
Wow, that's a great question. And you're right. I mean, it is. It's such a powerful theme. I'm so excited. There's part of me that really, really, really hopes that they keep certain things intact for the show. All I know is that I'm going to be a part of things, but I can't really say what it is. So I hope they keep the theme the same, because I do think that it's very iconic. And because, honestly, when I meet kids, right? Let's say parents bring their kids to the show, whatever. and they'll just be like, hey, oh, this is the guy that sings 1985. And they'll just be like, okay, whatever. But if I just go, there's 104 days of summer vacation, like the kid just goes, what is happening? Every single time. I'm going to date myself here and say my favorite TV show theme of all time is Different Strokes from the 80s. And,
great choice.
Yeah, and that was right when I was the age to be watching that show, and then it was in syndication whenever I was a teenager and stuff. Facts of Life would be a close second, and Facts of Life is a spinoff of Different Strokes. And then I guess my third choice, which you didn't ask me for 3, but I'm giving it to you, would be Gilligan's Island.
Oh my gosh! Ooh, Milo, what's yours?
Oh, of all time. Oh man. I don't know. Gilligan's Island is, man, now that you put that out in the universe.
Strong
maybe
pretty good, right?
Up there, man.
See,
yeah. And Bowling for Soup covered that as well. And there was a, which was super, super fun to do, but there was a reality show on TBS called The Real Gilligan's Island. And we did the theme song for it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm not certain that, I don't know if that's like out in the world. I mean, it's on YouTube basically. So if somebody wants to go look that up, you can go check it out.
I remember that.
I do have one.
Okay.
Go ahead, Milo.
Where everybody knows your name.
Oh, Cheers.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
See, I recently really had to internalize, and is that a word? I had to figure this out. And for me, I'm going to go Family Matters. Just very strong. Yeah. There was a time in the 90s when the same guy just did every theme song. He did Step by Step and
all the TGIF shows. And
they were all so killer, but
bangers.
But now I'm Gilligan's Island. That didn't even, yeah.
Yeah, great. It's kind of hard to beat. What was it? What's the Everywhere You Look, Uncle Jesse. What's that show?
Right. From Full House.
Full House.
Man, that's a pretty great one too.
It is. Yeah. Oh man, I would just. Is there a Spotify playlist where I can just listen to theme songs?
Sure, there has to be.
There has to be. Yeah. Let's hope that Phineas and Ferb is on that for sure.
Oh, if it isn't, we're adding it immediately.
We just ruined everybody's night because everybody's going to be looking these up for the rest of the night.
I know, right? Yeah.
Enjoy. Okay. So to pivot ever so slightly, one of your besties, which I think is so cool, is Thomas Ian Nicholas. And I just want to kind of know, how did this bromance begin? How did the two of y'all meet?
Man, I love telling this story. And this is the second time in as many days as I've got to tell the story. And so thank you for this question.
Oh my gosh, of course.
It's so good. So I did for about 7 years, 300 episodes. I did a podcast called Jaret Goes to the Movies. And we recently just put that to bed so I could focus on some other things. And but during our time doing that, my producer, Sean, had gotten a contact for Thomas Ian Nicholas. And he had reached out to him and he's like, hey, do you want to, come and guest on the show? And Thomas was like, I don't know. I'm really just kind of focused on my new stuff. I just did this movie and I'm doing music now or whatever. Well, we eventually did American Pie. And to me, I'm a little bit of a smarty pants, never in a malicious way, but, always in good fun. And so on that episode, I just ripped him. I just was just oh, we were supposed to have Kevin from the show, but the guy he's too involved in his new stuff and his music and all this. And just, really just kind of gave him a hard time. He never knew that, of course. Why would he know that this little podcast, this stupid little movie podcast actually even said anything or whatever? Well, so fast forward a few years, we were doing these live events for Jaret Goes to the Movies at a local venue here. And his name came up again, but this time it was not from my internal people. It was from the venue itself. And they were just like, hey, we've got, we can get this guy. We can get this guy. We can get Thomas Ian Nicholas from Rookie of the Year in American Pie. And I go, oh no, that guy just wants to do his new stuff. And they're like, no. He wants to come in and he'll do either movie you want. And I'm like, okay, fine. Let's just do it then. Let's do American Pie. That'll be great. And so we fast forward to, and again, I'm sort of like being a little bit, there's something you need to know about me. I'm the nicest person in the whole wide world. And anytime I think negatively about anybody, it always bites me in the ass every single time. And so I have this like attitude, this guy coming in and stuff, and I'm going to make fun of him for not doing our show in the first place, this and this and this. See, he would have been better off just to never answer us, right? But he answered us and said this. So anyway, we were building up to doing this podcast together. And my other show that's still going is called Rockstar Dad Show. We're on iDoby Radio every week, and it's a very successful podcast that my drummer and I do. And so I text with Thomas and Nicholas, and I go, "Hey man, to promote this thing, do you want to come on our dad show? I just saw your Instagram, you and your son or whatever." He goes, "Yeah, that'd be great." We had the best conversation. And I just instantly had this connection with this guy. And I was just like, holy crap. Am I the worst ever? And he ends up flying in for the event. And it was like he probably said the same thing if you talk to him, but we were like instantly like we had known each other our whole lives. And just like this insane, like, holy crap, let's just do as many things together as we possibly can, and it's been like that ever since. We actually, this is the longest we've gone like 3 months without hanging out. That's the longest we've gone in a couple of years. So,
now you have to get him a candle.
I have to get him. I know you got to get him. All my brothers need the Gwyneth Paltrow candle. Yeah, get him that. He has smelled it though. He's been in this very studio. So,
oh wow.
Yeah, but that's a long story, but I love the fact that it just starts out with me just being such a butt and then just finishing out with it just being like, this is one of the coolest guys I've ever met.
It seems just more like kind of lost in translation kind of situation, but it all worked out.
Right.
A man with 3 first names. Thomas,
right.
you and Nicholas.
And none of those are even his name at all. Like,
where did he pull? He's like this one and that one.
I know. Like none of that is real. It's like it's a whole thing. I don't know. You have to. I don't even know. I know what his last name is, but I can't pronounce it. Like it's very wild. Like
okay, understandable. Yeah. Wow, our life's a lie. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
You're, with multiple podcasts, music, you're like so busy. What can you tell us about the Bowling for Soup comic, Super Rob?
Oh wow, yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, we had done a couple of comic books in the past, and they were great. But it was like we kind of had this character that we have a video out for one of our new songs and we dressed him up as a superhero. And I was just like, we should do a comic and relaunch that. And so we actually ended up getting a really great comic book artist from the UK to partner with us. And he sort of like came to us with a story and then let us pretty much sort of dictate it and write it and develop each of the characters. Cause each of the characters, so Chris's character is sort of based upon how Chris really is. Like he just, it's just always like coming up with crazy things. And Gary is like kind of really quiet and just always, just the voice of reason. And of course I'm the boss and Rob is just always in a good mood. So yeah, that comic, it came out really great and for sale on the Bowling for Soup website.
Yeah. I was going to say that's a superhuman ability in itself. It's always being in a good mood. How does one do that?
Yeah. I will say that Rob and I are just kind of like that. You would never really know, and that's it's like through all the mental health stuff that I've been through over the last, 10 years or so. That's the biggest thing is like everybody's really super surprised all the time because you would never see that side of me. It's very, very, compartmentalized and only comes out in front of, certain individuals and there's not many, but yeah, it's definitely Rob is one of those guys that is just, he very, very seldom is he not in just the best mood ever.
Oh man, I love that. I love that so much. Okay. So obviously we know what like a great or good superhero ability would be. Can we think of like, what would be the worst superhuman? Like what would be just like, oh, I have.
Right.
What would be a bad one?
Did you guys watch The Boys?
Yeah.
Yes.
I watched it. Remember when the main character takes the injection and he becomes a superhero? Like, and he could what do you call it? He could make himself. It's not levitate, right? Are you talking about the butcher? No, the other character, the Dennis Quaid's son.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So he would disappear and appear somewhere, but
no clothes.
As in reality and as it should be, his clothes didn't go with him.
Right.
You know? And so that he would teleport. Thank you, Jude.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Jude McKenzie. Thank you for that. He would teleport, but he wouldn't have any clothes on, you know? And so that one was, and if he grabbed hold of you, he could take you with him, but you would also be naked. So that's a pretty, that's kind
of like a throwback to Terminator, right? Because when
that's right,
Terminator traveled wherever he popped up, he was always naked.
That's right. You know, and that when they came from the future, it was just them. Yeah, both him and the guy that's was there to kill him.
Robert Patrick. Well, not actually Robert Patrick.
Right.
The T-1000.
Right. Well, no. Yeah. Well, that's two, and one, Arnold Schwarzenegger's the bad guy. Oh
yeah. That's right. That's why he shows up at the biker bar and he takes their clothes.
Right.
Okay. Yep. It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I always think about the episode of Family Guy, like where Meg's ability was just she could grow her fingernails really long. I feel like that would just be so awful. But all right, let's pivot again because I want to make sure we get to these games. But we want to say we think it is so cool that you're playing at the When We Were Young Fest too. What a huge, incredible announcement and one of the best lineups of all time.
Yeah.
What bands are you most looking forward to reconnecting with?
You know, it's funny. I was talking to Thomas Thacker from Sum 41 today, and we were just talking about this very thing. It's going to be very interesting because a lot of us, haven't seen each other in a while, and there's a lot of us that do see each other, but that show for so many is going to be like a destination. I think a lot of people are bringing their families, and so it's going to be like a high school reunion kind of thing where it's like we haven't seen each other in 5 or 10 or 15 years. And here we are, like all of us just walking around with our wives and kids. And so I'm excited about the social aspect of it, probably more than I am the bands, because I will admit this, though most people probably don't. But when you're a musician and you see bands literally every night, like you sort of get to the point where you're like, I don't really have to go watch that or whatever. But I'm obviously I'll take any chance I can to watch Green Day. I'm excited that Phoenix TX is back together for that.
Insane.
I'll go watch all of my friends that are there, Mest, and gosh, it just goes on and on, right? I mean, it's going to be bonkers. Less Than Jake. So yeah, I actually, it's so funny because when that all went down, we didn't get on it on the first one. And we sort of did this being silly campaign of like, hey, why aren't we on there? We'd put these little eyeballs on every one of their posts or whatever. Bowling for Soup became, everybody just knew us for these like little eyeballs looking at the thing. But I'm so glad that we didn't get on the first one because this one is insane. I'm really excited about it.
I'm so excited for you guys. And just, I remember like there was something weird that happened at the last one with like a random like storm or something that came through Vegas.
It was wind. And it's really crazy. I was actually there the day before because I did the pre-party at the big bowling alley there or whatever. And so me and then Story of the Year was there, and Red Jumpsuit Apparatus and a few others that we've known forever. Nick from All American Rejects, and it goes on and on. But so we did this pre-party, and it's so funny because Kevin Lyman from Warped Tour goes, "What time's your flight tomorrow?" And I go, "Well, it's early." I said, "It's at like 8:30." And he goes, "Okay, well, you'll get out of here." And I go, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, man, there's like a big wind thing coming, and it's gonna get things a little bit messy." And sure enough, we got off the ground, and then by the time I had landed, they were just like, the whole day is just canceled. And it was like,
so insane, right?
Crazy. And so many people, I mean, I just felt bad. There's nothing the organizers could do because it really was the craziest wind of all time. But so many people had spent, thousands of dollars because you got to get there, you got to get your room. And a lot of times that, I know a lot of my friends that went, you didn't get tickets, but there were still packages left. So you could buy a hotel and that came with the ticket. So there's another whole bunch of money that they wouldn't have spent otherwise. So very sad that went down the way that it did. But you know what? I mean, I think they handled it really well. And then just the media that they were able to put out and the things that they shared with each of the bands when it did go down, it's the best of anything I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like it. Like it really did. You could watch their feed and it sort of did feel like you were there, and I've never experienced that in all the festivals and things like that I've done in the past. Never experienced anything like that. So I can only imagine what they're up to this year.
Oh man, I can't wait.
It's probably a good thing you did, because if you would have got booked for that and that show would have been canceled because of wind, and then you get booked for DizCon, which gets canceled because of a hurricane, Jaret, people would have stopped booking you for shows.
Oh no!
Yeah, I just did it. Just it's that wind guy. Speaking of, it's like it's the superpower you don't want. What's his superpower? Everywhere he goes, there's a friggin' windstorm.
Oh my
god! Crazy. We can't take this guy anywhere. Oh my god! Don't wear a hat around that dude. Whatever you do, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, he met Donald Trump and his wig blew off. It was crazy. The whole thing. Just, can you imagine? Oh my God.
Well, that was very funny, Milo. I'm very excited. When We Were Young Fest 2, Electric Boogaloo, as we're calling it. Oh, are you going to be in the pit? Anthony wants to know.
Anthony, I am 50 years old with two knees that both have been operated on 3 times. I'm overweight, and I will be on stage because I'm famous. Watch it.
I love that. Yes. So,
now,
Milo, go ahead.
If you had your choice, I mean, it doesn't have to be within your genre. It could be if you were an event organizer, concert organizer, you're creating your festival.
Yeah.
What shows or what bands would be on that show, and what would you call it?
Right. Okay. Well, obviously, I'm very loyal to my friends, so I would bring a lot of my friends along. I would call it. What would I call it? Well, we'll get to that in a minute. I would for sure have the Descendants on there. Bad Religion, Green Day, just because that show there's nobody really that is like them live. I mean, he's on another planet as far as like live shows is concerned, and the audience just deserves that, but yeah, then I'd put Frank Turner on there for sure. Full band or acoustic. And then Less Than Jake, Cliff Diver, Don't Panic. And then I'd have a comedian stage with Anthony Jeselnik. And, that would be good. And let's see, I don't know. There's so many things. And I would just call it, is there already like a fun fest? There's already that, right? This festival doesn't suck.
Ooh,
we'll call it that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
and then what would be great is like all of the clickbait that we get from this festival really does suck. It's so windy here. The guy with the superpower.
I love it. Oh my God. I think that's so fun. Okay. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay.
What?
So we're going to, okay. Last time you were on here, I put you in this spot that was difficult about ranking some of the top films from 1985. This time we have some of the top songs from 1985.
Okay.
And I am so sorry to do this to you, but we're going to try it. So we're going to give you some of these songs. What we're going to say is only one of them could be S tier, which is the highest. And then however else you want to line the rest of them up. We do have a graphic so we can kind of make everything neat and tidy. So the songs are Money for Nothing from the Dire Straits, right. Material Girl, Madonna, Power of Love, Huey Lewis and the News, Careless Whisper from Wham, Raspberry Beret, Prince, Don't You Forget About Me, Simple Minds, Take on Me, Aha, Tarzan Boy from Baltimore, and Broken Wings from Mr. Mister.
All right. The Tarzan Boy would be last because I don't know that song.
It's
oh, that song. Yeah,
Yep.
that was in a toothpaste commercial, but yeah. Still, yeah. No, I might have to move that one, but thank you. We'll keep that there for now. Huey Lewis in the News would be number one.
Top tier S.
And then top tier S.
Yes, perfect.
Right. And then I would go Mr. Mister.
Mister's A?
A.
Okay. Okay.
And then, okay, so then it's like, what's the second? Oh, Madonna. You can put Madonna second to the last.
Okay. Okay, Madonna.
And then I like old Madonna. What's the one? Okay, then Simple Minds, Aha, George Michael, Dire Straits, and what's the other one?
Prince, Raspberry Beret.
Oh, okay, that's a pretty good song. Put Prince D. Now, I can only pick two more.
No, you can only have one top tier, but you can stack other ones.
All right, I got it. All right, so I see what you're saying. All right, let's also put Dire Straits at D, and then let's put
MTV. I get it. That's fine.
George Michael at C, and then Take on Me, Aha at B. And then I'd say Simple Minds probably tied with Dire Straits.
Wow. You did. It's so funny because Milo and I, before we did this, we're like, okay, because Milo and I are huge Back to the Future people. We're like, for us, easily Power of Love #1. I'm so glad you're with us on this, Jaret.
Well, I not only just love Power of Love, I love Huey Lewis. I mean, the album Sports is like, it's like songs that, like young people are going to sit there and go, oh, okay, whatever. But it's stuff you literally hear all the time and you just don't realize it. It's like every single song on that album was a single. Right. And it was like, I want a new drug. And if this is it, please let me know. And then, I mean, just more and more. It was crazy. So that album is just so good. But
man, I think my favorite song from them is "Hip to Be Square."
Yeah, it's "Hip to Be Square." Dun, dun, and
then I just want to like get my axe out and start, wearing what does he do in American Psycho? Yeah, that's
just so good. I mean, it just like, and they're just so much fun. I had a chance to go see them, but they were doing a Vegas residency at the time, and it was like right at that level of money to where you're just like, if I go see them, I don't have a gambling budget tonight, kind of thing. Like, it's like you allow, like when I'm in Vegas, I love to gamble. So there's like a certain amount of money that I'm like, this is how much money we have tonight. And this, whatever. So it's like trying to be smart about things. So I didn't go see them. I'll probably regret that.
What's your Vegas game? Like, what do you like to play?
So I love craps, but it's one of those things where things can get really good fast and really bad fast. So I am super selective how often I play that. But I will just sit at blackjack all night and drink for free.
My goodness.
I don't sit there and expect to win. I sit there and expect to break even. But again, just sit there and have my beers for free. And my wife actually recently has gotten pretty good too. And so it used to be where it was like, I'm going to come sit with you and play blackjack. And I'd be like, okay. And then it's like, I would just watch her money just disappear or whatever. I'd be like, are you sure you don't want to go hit a video poker or something? But now she's got it down. And in fact, it keeps me in sometimes. So we were just at a casino. We went up to visit my bass player and she hadn't met his baby yet. So we went up to meet him and stayed at the casino and she did really well.
Wow. I don't know if this is still true, but the last time I read it, fun trivia fact, I believe that Ben Affleck is banned from Vegas casinos for counting cards.
Oh yeah, I believe. It's funny is that we talk about this all the time. I have a friend who I won't mention his name that can do that, and it's not against the law. They just don't want you to do it. So like, they can't like charge you with anything or anything like that. They just can say, we refuse service to you or whatever. You can't come in here, which kind of sucks. because it's like, they already have the advantage. So it seems like if you were able to do that, you ought to be able to do it. But
I don't disagree. I mean, it's not like they're hurting for money. It's a casino. Like,
right. Yeah.
I don't know.
They don't have all those lights on because they lose, like.
Yeah. How do you feel about horse racing? Have you ever bet on horses?
Okay, so I think that is so much fun. I have not been for many, many years. My mom took me when I was a kid, and I had a blast. And I've been one time since then. That is one of those things that, like, me and Gary, my drummer, talk about. Me and Gary are together. He lives right down the street, and like we play. The only thing that we do outside of the band recreationally is play golf. So he and I will play golf 4 or 5 times a year. Other than that, like, I'm working. That's it, just all the time. Or with my family or my dogs, but that's another thing. Anyway, but that's one of those things where we're just like, dude, we got to go to the horse race. We got to go to the horse race. And we just never do. But
it's so fun.
Yeah.
There's one right by us in Miami, Gulfstream. So much fun. Just like so thrilling. But I'm the type of person, I'll be like, put $2 down and maybe I'll make 4 or 5. But like, I'm so nervous to like bet big money, but just so fun.
But that's why that's fun though, is because you can do like the $2 and do like the whole win, place, or show kind of thing or whatever. And like, you win $20 and it's fun. And
yeah. Well, next time you're down in Miami, we'll go to Gulfstream. I'm
down. I'm going to hold you to that because I'm overdue to go to the horse race. And we have a track here. It's about, we live just about 30 minutes north of Dallas. So in the suburbs up here, and it's about 30 minutes like the other way. So it's a little bit of a hike. Dallas is really big, but anyway, well, I'll just, I'll just come to Miami and then we'll finally go.
Come on down, Milo. You can come too.
I'll come down.
You're
in a 3-hour drive ish.
It's close. Okay, so before we get into our next game, a couple of things that have come up. Jude wants to know if you had a candle made after your musk or desired scent, what would it smell like?
Oh, man. So I have a distinct smell, but it's not like Post Malone. Like, it actually smells good. And I've been told that a lot, through the years. But I think it's sort of like a mixture of like a light sweat with a little Old Spice Sport in there.
Okay.
And that would be, my desired, or what would I thought you meant like if it was smelled like me.
I think
my desired smell. Okay, this is it. My favorite candle in the world is a Tyler candle called Diva. And my wife keeps them in the house and there's always one burning. Like, I mean, it's like my house just smells like this. So if you meet me and I have fresh clothes on, Rob says that I always smell like that because I smell like my house. And so chances are, if you've met me recently, I probably smell like Diva candle.
Diva candle. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Sleeping. Okay. So here's our next game. You played it last time. We got some different questions for you this time. This is a game of Would You Rather. There's no wrong answers. Whatever you pick is correct.
Okay.
So Milo, you want to take it away?
All right. You want me to go first? All right.
Yeah.
So would you rather switch set list with Less Than Jake or switch set list with Goldfinger?
Oh man, that is hard. I'm gonna say Goldfinger because I probably would mess up way less of the words. So Goldfinger.
Here I am. All right, perfect. Great answer. All right, Here's the next one. Would you rather own a time-traveling phone booth a la Bill and Ted, or own a pair of glasses that allows you to see people for who they really are, a la They Live?
I'd take the phone booth. I don't think sometimes you really need to know people for who they really are.
Just what they smell like. Yeah.
Yeah. Just, you just kind of, I just side on the side of caution until it's time to let my guard down. So I'll take the phone booth.
So where's the first place you're going?
Ooh.
Gosh, man, can I be like kind of serious?
Absolutely.
Okay? I never met my biological father. And so I would love to go back, and he was a musician. I think it'd be super cool. I probably wouldn't disrupt the time continuum or anything like that, but it'd be cool to go watch his band and see. Apparently there's a lot of similarities that we had. And so I think that's the first thing off the top of my head is to do that. And then
I love that.
And then I'd probably just use it to go meet chicks.
There you go. Yeah. All right. 2 stops. Perfect.
Those are the sequel. That's Back to the Future 4 and Back to the Future 5.
Stops, hang up the phone.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Oh man. Yeah. Milo, don't get him started on part 2, because then we'll be here for a while. All right. Milo.
Oh my God. Yeah.
All right. So would you rather go back in time, speaking of, and have a conversation with Johnny Cash, or go back and have a conversation with Kurt Cobain?
Johnny Cash, easy. He's such an inspiration to me. And honestly, quite frankly, he lived a way longer and more eventful life. As morbid as that sounds, but his stories are just iconic. And he really did live his life to the fullest. And I can only imagine what a conversation with him would be like. So I would definitely go that direction. Great
choice. Okay. Here's the next one. Would you rather record an album at Sun Studio or record an album at Apple Studios?
Man, that's so hard. Okay. I have played a show in Sun Studio before.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I did a radio show there with listeners and stuff, and it was very cool. And that was awesome. So, I'm going to do the album in Apple just so I have both stories.
There you go. Perfect. And then do you play a show on the roof? And then all the cops
come? I play a show on the roof. Yes, 100%.
Awesome. All right. We got a couple more of these. Go ahead, Milo.
All right. Would you rather your next tattoo be a glowworm or your next tattoo be a Tomy Omnibot?
Omnibot. I didn't have an Omnibot. That might have been either right before me or right after me, but I definitely had a glowworm, and I remember the commercial and everything. So I would definitely get a glowworm. I would actually get that just to promote your show. If you guys want me to, run this thing. I will go get a tattoo of the glowworm. You can be like, he really did it.
I'll get one too.
Okay, done.
Okay, so we're going to the horse races, and then we're going to get tattoos. So my buddy Dave Batista, Drax from Guardians, has a new tattoo shop in Tampa. Bit of a travel, but we can go Miami to Tampa. We'll get our tattoos there.
My buddies, the Dolly Rots, live in Tampa. That's my home away from home anyway. So that sounds great.
It's happening. I'm in. I got this really cool like ET tattoo there, and it's really, really well done. Anyway, okay. Nice. Is it me? Okay, here we go. Would you rather befriend an alien like Alf or befriend an alien like E.T.?
If I don't say Alf, Rob would kill me. That is his favorite show. He literally watches it every single night before bed. So I have to say Alf.
Alf's a great choice. Big cat lover. Okay, we got.
That's the only choice.
Literally.
One more. Go ahead, Milo.
All right. And Alf sings rock and roll. So anyway, would you rather do a country collab with George Strait or a country collab with Chris Stapleton?
So first of all, let me just say this. I'm not the biggest Chris Stapleton fan because I don't really like the slow, dreary, bluesy kind of country. But I have heard him sing a lot, and somebody recently came out saying that he's probably the greatest singer living right now. And they're probably right. But George Strait is the absolute GOAT. And, I think it would be so much fun. Plus, I don't really think he writes a lot. So it'd basically be me writing his songs for him and letting him sing them. And that sounds awesome.
And look how that man wears a hat. Yeah. That is impressive.
That's how you wear a hat.
Yee.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been informed we do have one more. Okay. So I don't know what this one is. It's on our notes. Let's see it. Oh, okay. Would you rather compete on The Amazing Race with Thomas Ian Nicholas or compete on Floor is Lava with Alexa Bliss?
Oh, man. Well, this is really tough because I think Alexa would be. Oh, not you. Alexa.
Did the Alexa come on?
Yeah. Sorry. Lexi would be amazing at that lava show. I have seen that before, and she's a gymnast, and she did backflips on my trampoline for hours with my kids, and it's nuts the things that she can do. But Gary and I have said that we could win The Amazing Race, and especially when we were younger and in better shape. And Thomas Ian Nicholas can make things happen when he travels. He's really, really good at turning minimal things into mega events, And so as much as I would love to be on the show with Lexi And as much as I think she would kick some ass, I probably am not in the right shape to be on that show. So me and Thomas, The Amazing Race.
Ironically, they are currently casting for The Amazing Race. So you never know. That'd be so fun. Okay. So Milo, since we have a couple minutes, do you want to pick a Milo Beasley question to take it home?
Yeah. So we'll do 2 questions. I'll let you pick one of them.
Okay.
And then I'll do the other one.
Okay.
Let me just get on this real quick. Chris O'Toole asks, have I actually met Frank Turner? Frank and I are buds. Frank actually sings on my new country album. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. So my last single is called One of the Good Ones, and Frank Turner is featured on there. So you guys can go check that out now.
Jaret Ray Reddick.
Jaret Ray Reddick. You just add the Ray. And honestly,
add the Ray.
That's my actual name. I'm no Thomas Ian Nicholas.
Wow. You're not just picking names out of the sky. I
can't wait till he sees this.
Okay, Milo, do you want to pick one first? Or do you want me to pick one?
I'll let you pick one, and then I'll pick. Yep.
Okay, so Milo asks certain questions to celebrities, and we love to see what answers they give. Let's do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, I do. I'm not like super like into the paranormal or anything like that, but I definitely do believe that there's like spirits or something for sure.
Okay.
Have you had anything weird happen to you that you're like, that could be?
I don't think so. I mean, I thought I did when I was a kid, but I think I can sort of explain it. But I have a bunch of friends that are into this whole paranormal thing or whatever, and just listening to them talk, it seems crazy that it would all just be, insane. And plus, just like, I don't know. I feel like there's so much magic in the world, that we just don't know everything, and it seems like there would have to be.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. And then my favorite question to ask people is, quite clearly you've met a lot of people, whether it's in studio, on tour, at conventions, but what has been the moment where you met somebody, whether it's another celebrity or whatever, that you absolutely fanboyed out? You either couldn't speak or you spoke way too much and put your foot in your mouth.
Yeah, I can tell you the exact thing that happened. We were nominated for a Grammy in 2003, and we went to the Grammys, and it was awesome. We walked the red carpet and taking pictures with people, and one of the coolest things that ever happened. I was actually shaking B.B. King's hand, and Bonnie Raitt kissed me on the face all at the same time. Like, it was unbelievable, right? So all of this is happening. We're like joking around with the Foo Fighters and Godsmack and Jimmy Fallon, like just the who's who of everybody. And I'm fine, right? Until I look over to my right and Michael J. Fox walks in the room. And I literally just was like, I just gave myself the chills. Like I was completely speechless. And here's why, I think, because I think I went into it like knowing, okay, I'm going to meet all these famous musicians, or I'm going to see them or whatever. We're going to, there'll probably be some interaction. Maybe there won't be, who knows? But that made sense to me and in my head. But like, to see this guy who was such an important part of my childhood, from Family Ties to, to obviously to Back to the Future, to Bright Lights, Big City, and Teen Wolf. And, it was just, I would just sat there just speechless. And so I did not introduce myself to him. He sort of like came in and went to his seat or whatever, and people around him spoke to him or whatever. But anyway, that's the first time I really ever felt like that.
Whoa. So I feel like at some point, because I know you do conventions and he does conventions as well, we're going to have to try to get y'all same place.
It would be a true pleasure. And I'm again, it's just one of those things where that guy, I've been watching that dude do stuff since I was, 8, 9 years old. And like, that was my favorite show. And then that was my favorite movie. And it just kind of keeps going.
Legendary. Oh, what a great, oh my gosh. So many cool stories. This has been such a joy. Before we release you back into the world, there's been a couple people asking about upcoming shows. I know you have one on Friday.
Yep. So on Friday, I'm here in Dallas with my country band. So those of you who don't know, I am still in Bowling for Soup. We're going strong. Lots of stuff happening this year, mostly festivals and fly dates and things here and there, but we should be touring the U.S. In the fall. So be looking out for just all of those things. But I did release a country record last year. And so I'll be playing a bunch of country shows, mostly around in Texas, but that album is out. Like as she said earlier, put the Ray in there. That is my actual name. The reason why I use Jaret Ray Reddick is because of the algorithm on the streaming, because if you type in Jaret Reddick, it's like all the punk stuff that I've done outside of Bowling for Soup, or, you know, if I sang on this band's album or this band's album or this soundtrack or whatever. So just trying to get the thing to put me into to the right category, you know, so that people will eventually start to discover me. But yeah, full band show. And then a bunch of Houston and Austin in February and lots more coming up. So best way is just follow me everywhere. JARET2113 or Jaret Reddick on TikTok.
Yeah, please do yourselves a favor. If you're not already following him on TikTok, please do it. It's my favorite TikTok to watch. Oh yeah, no, you're incredible. You're so amazing, and thank you. Before we let you go, we're gonna go over our upcoming guests that we have coming up for. Oh my gosh, January is almost over. This is so weird. So I guess the rest of January, February. Let's see what we got going on. So Thursday we have Marco DeSantis from Sugar Cult, which will be really fun. Next Tuesday, we have Duncan Sheik, who is amazing. He also wrote a couple Broadway musicals, including Spring Awakening. We also have David Josephsberg, who was just in Beetlejuice on Broadway. And oh my gosh, we're also welcoming back Casey Jost, I think for like his 10th or 11th appearance on the show, which is wild, from Impractical Jokers. We also have Matt Novetsky from Blue October coming up. And we're just so excited. But Jaret, thank you. Like I said, this feels like a holiday. You just radiate the most wonderful presence and musk and all that stuff. So thank you.
Yeah, and so much wind. You know, this has been every time. I please just have me back on a recurring schedule. This is so much fun. I sat in front of this computer all day talking to people, and this has been the highlight of my day. So thank you so very much for this. And you know, I will. I guess I got to do my follow-up video for the candle and let people know what it smells like now before you guys before you leak it for me.
Okay, we will not. You first. Milo, thank you so much again. You're the best.
Yeah, Milo, great to meet you, brother.
Great to meet you. Hopefully we can do it in person sometime soon.
Anytime. Well, I'll see you in Florida at Miami. We're going to the horse races.
Woohoo! Gulfstream Park, baby. All right, guys. Until we meet again, have a wonderful rest of your night. Bye, everybody. Woohoo!